I know it is funny that I'm posting this video today, as just on Monday I posted a video about stocks crashing, as there was some uncertainty with Jerome Powell's testimony yesterday and the inflation report today, plus other reports that will come up tomorrow. But now, after Jerome Powell talk, the market made a U-turn and turned green, as we can see that the S&P 500 is up 2.86% in the past 2 days, the Dow Jones 1.66%, the Nasdaq 4.38%, the Russell 2000 up 1.19%. So what happened? What did the Fed say, and what does the inflation report tell us about the economy? Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to talk about why stocks are going up in the past 2 days, what we should expect, and more. Please smash that like button and subscribe, since it really helps the channel out. First and most importantly, Jerome Powell talks about the economy. He mentioned that it is healthy enough and in need of tighter monetary policy, which is what they have been talking about over the past several days. He said, and I quote, "As we move through this year, if things develop as expected, we'll be normalizing policy, meaning we're going to end our assets purchases in March, meaning we'll be raising rates over the course of the year. At some point, perhaps later this year, we will start to allow the balance sheet to run off, and that's just the road to normalizing policy, just as expected," which obviously was the first green flag, as I have mentioned before in this channel, that the market does not like uncertainties and when things change unexpectedly. But this was not the case, as he mentioned his plan for the economy in 2022, but it was already what we were expecting to happen. Most of the questions yesterday were about inflation as well, as we know that it was supposed to be transitory at the beginning, but certainly it was not transitory at all, and the Fed had to change plans to a more aggressive calendar in order to battle inflation. As we know, they are expecting to raise interest rates 3 or 4 times this year, as it is a way to control inflation by slowing down the flow of money on the streets. According to Jerome Powell, the economy is telling us that it no longer need or want the very highly accommodative policies that they have in place to deal with the pandemic and the aftermath, as the moves are in response to the economy that has an unemployment rate of about 3.9% in December, but an inflation expected to top 7% year over year for the same period, which was exactly what was announced today. And obviously the market liked this announcement, as immediately stocks turned green, and as it basically means that they are not trying to crash the market. They will certainly try to avoid that, and will also avoid a recession, as it could be crucial to the country. Basically, they will do their best to improve inflation while keeping things going, while jobs participation increases, supply chain improves, and all that. We do have to take into consideration that most of these problems are because of the pandemic and its new variants, so that is why we have seen how things have improved but slowly, as we see the Delta variant affected really hard, and now the Omicron variant, which even though it is not as lethal as the others, it is very contagious, and we are seeing a peak in cases, and we are also seeing hospitalizations reporting new highs. Now, I understand many believe these cases numbers are a lie or a manipulation, and others believe this is true. I can only say that these are the numbers they are posting right now, and some are affecting companies as well as jobs. Here in Venezuela, for example, we have seen more than 10 people in the same office testing positive, which obviously affects the whole company in the short term, and I would assume that the same thing is happening worldwide. I have a friend in Miami, for example, who told me that they were all sent home to work from home again since December, as cases started to peak, and they were scared everyone would test positive on the office. Definitely, I can't say if those cases numbers are true or not, but companies are taking actions accordingly. Now, today we saw the inflation report, which we already can imagine was good, as the market continued its uptrend. Before the report, stocks were flat in the morning waiting for the report. Well, US inflation hit 7% in December, fastest pace since 1982, which sounds awful, right? but it was just as expected, and consumer price raise exceeded 6% year over year for the third straight month. On a monthly basis, the CPI increased a seasonal adjusted of 0.5% in December from a preceding month, decelerating from October and November. There is still tremendous momentum when it comes to inflation right now. While inflation is likely to peak in the next few months, the overall pace is going to remain a challenge for consumers, businesses, and policy, which we can see that 0.5% is actually nice, as it has been on a downturn since October. Not at August levels yet, but we gotta understand the correlation with the Delta and Omicron variants, such as the run-up at the beginning of the year. And obviously, the market is happy with this report. As well as we can see, it was just as expected, and the uptrend in stocks continued. Even crypto went up today, and we have now articles like this one talking about how Bitcoin could rise to $75,000 this year. Again, top record high. But now that these two very important testimonies and reports are out, the market is a little bit more relieved, in my opinion, as we know a little bit more about what to expect in the coming months for the economy. So now it is time to focus on earnings season. See how companies did this month and what their expectations are for 2022. Because remember that companies will report their Q4 earnings and the whole 2021 earnings, but also give us their expectations for 2022, which we will also know a lot more of the economy and growth of these companies. We already know that this week is not a big week for earnings, in my opinion. Tomorrow is going to be a little bit better with Delta in the morning, and Friday with JP Morgan, Citibank, and Wells Fargo, which are the three of the biggest banks in the US. So between tomorrow and Friday, we will have way more information about how the economy is really doing until Q4 of 2021 and what to expect in the coming quarters. But next week we have Goldman Sachs and PNC on Tuesday. We also have Bank of America, Procter & Gamble, and Discovery on Wednesday, Netflix starting with the FANG earnings on Thursday, and Ally Bank on Friday. Then we have Johnson & Johnson, Verizon, 3M, and General Electric on the 25th, which I don't invest in any of those companies, but I do know that many of you do, as I see the comments that you post. On the 26th, we have AT&T and Intel, and nothing else for the rest of the week for me. Last week of January, we have UPS, Marathon, and that is all for me right now. Obviously, more companies will be added to this calendar, as not all companies have already confirmed their earnings date yet, but it is just quick review, as we know that in the coming months are going to get better with earnings, such as February. I will be posting videos just like I did for Q3, analyzing different earnings on November. But now I wanted to say that I did not buy anything yesterday or today, as everything was so green. There are many opportunities still in the market, as it has not recovered 100%, obviously, but I don't like to buy on green days. I only buy on red days, but I will focus on earnings in the coming weeks. I have been buying stocks for the first 10 days of January, but not yesterday nor today. I do have to say that even though the market seems to be very happy right now because of all the news, we expect this year to be a little bit more volatile, but with a lot of opportunities as well. Now, I do really want to know, what are you guys doing right now? What you guys think about Jerome Powell, his testimony, and the inflation report that came out today, and what are you planning to do for this earnings season, or which are the companies that you are interested in for this earnings season? Thank you, and see you next time.